Hey there, I'm Patrick Franco, and I'm here with Melly, who will be my student today as we look at Tittibhasana, which you may know as Firefly. It is an arm balance that is a big hip opener, as well as a pose that opens and lengthens the hamstrings. So there's a lot going on. Very specifically, this pose strengthens the muscles of the arms, shoulders, back, and abdominal muscles. It also strengthens the muscles of the hip stabilizers in order to keep the pelvis and inner thighs squeezing in to wrap around those arms. This pose also stretches the hamstrings and it stretches the entirety of the back. All right, so we're going to take a look at it now. And the way in which we most commonly enter this pose is from what you probably know as a yogi squat or a wide squat. So Melly's going to come into that shape now. This is a good starting point, mainly because it positions your back, your arms, your legs in an orientation that is required to move into the shape. So from here, she's going to have to lift her hips a little bit and then slide her arms inside of her legs. When she slides her arms inside of her legs, the palms plant down. Now you can go either right behind the heels or a little bit on the outside of your feet. Before she does anything further, notice that the elbows are bending back. The elbows bending back creates a shelf for your hamstrings to rest on. Now, once that happens, the back is full. The buttocks is going to try to stay down. Her chest is going to pull forward and she's going to do her best to extend her legs forward. It's hard to slide them forward on a sticky mat, but once that happens, the heels extend, the backs of the legs open, and she's pressing down to lift her abdominal muscles. When she's ready, she can bend her knees, come back into that squat, and she can rest a moment on her shins. So, Tittibhasana, Firefly Pose, it's a very challenging arm balance. Obviously, the strengthening component of it, the hip opening component of it just to enter the shape, and then lastly, the ability to extend through your heels to fully open up those hamstrings, make this arm balance a challenging one. But as with all arm balances, if you are not able to do the final version of the pose, it doesn't mean that there's nothing to work on. So there is a lot to work on. And we're going to take a look at it one more time to see what those steps might be, even if you don't eventually take flight in this moment. So Melly's going to start again in this yogi squat. And as I alluded to earlier, this is the starting point. This is a great pose to work on just to be able to enter the pose because you do need some deep hip flexion and the ability to get your arms inside those thighs. From here, step 2 then would be to lift the hips a little bit, tuck those arms inside your thighs, working your palms flat. So the shape simply might be to get those palms down, lift your hips, and then bending your elbows and sitting your buttocks back and down. When you're doing that, if you get your palms flat and your elbows to bend, you might see if you can try to just extend your chest a little bit. Once you get that going, well, maybe then you start to slowly take those feet forward, even if they don't eventually come all the way up. And guess what commonly happens in this shape? You might slide off those arms, and a lot of times people fall back on their buttocks. No big deal if that happens. You just come up and try again. All right, so there you have it, Tittibhasana, a very challenging arm balance, but don't forget that even if you can't do the final version of the pose, there's still so much to work on. So keep practicing, and we'll see you on the mat next time.